Okay, hello and welcome to another edition of Breakthrough Thinking. So the idea of this is to deconstruct the thinking styles and the thinking skills of remarkable individuals. And I'm joined today by a very remarkable individual, Obaid Ullah Azam, who lives a very unconventional life, I think it's fair to say, and defies categorization. So he was trained as a dentist, but he currently runs a number of different ventures. So he's the managing director of a real estate company. He's the creative head for a handicrafts and furniture company, and he's also a painter and a designer. So I first met Obaid about a year and a half ago it was, when we were both working together to assist Pakistani entrepreneurs to bring their innovative business ideas to the UK. I was working as a business plan writer, and Obaid was the immigration consultant. And in the discussions that we had prior to and after we spoke to the entrepreneurs, I obviously picked up that Obaid was no ordinary individual, a remarkable man who's led a very interesting life. So previously he was an actor. He worked for PTV, HUM-TV and GEO TV, and he's also performed in theatre as well. So a very warm welcome, Obaid, to Breakthrough Thinking.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And I'm feeling really honored and a little bit confused because this is for the first time in my life that someone has honored me with an interview. And you, a man on the mission of a brain hunting, I'm in front of you, sitting in front of a very smart person who has a big experience and whole life in innovation and creativity and business plans. I'm feeling really honored. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. You're very welcome. So I want to start with a phrase that you use to describe yourself, which I think is very interesting. So you say that you're proudly unsuccessful. Now I know you mean unsuccess. You mean in the conventional sense of success, don't you? Is that right?
Yes, Steve. Since my childhood, I always felt that I am a little misfit everywhere, and I was rebellious enough to tell everyone that yes, I am not liking the situation, and I was very happy that I am misfit. There was some missing links in my life always that I was not been. It was all about my self-worth and self-doubts to saving myself. This is always a run for my survival. So in these scenarios, I felt that I am not where I should be. And then I started analyzing the environment here, the opportunities here which were not given to me, the kind of money which I deserved to earn here, which I was not getting. So at the same time, I was happy that in such chaos, I am not getting successful, because success means a very tricky situation in Pakistan. If someone is successful, it is also doubtful.
Okay.
There is no merit. There is no method which will tell anyone who is going to be successful or not. I don't want to be to get in details because we need to discuss other things as well. But now at this point, I think I am very happy that I am not successful, because I am a creative, hardworking, honest, intelligent person with brains. So look, I am in front of you, who finally realized that I deserve more. So in Pakistan, I am very happy that I'm not a very successful person. So I'm happy. I am happy.
Okay. Good. Okay, so you have a very unique philosophy on life. So I'm going to read it from here because I want to get it exactly right. So you regard the world as a playground to learn, unlearn, experiment, search, research, explore, discover, invent, think, rethink, fail, fall, and F up. Would you like to say a bit more about that?
I am so sorry that you need to utter the word F in front of everyone, but this is how my life is. I just faced challenges. I was always finding challenges in my life. So it was a survival race, as well as exploring, innovating, and searching for the answers. I have been through lots of scenarios, positive scenarios, negative scenarios. I met lots of people from everywhere. I think these are the things and exposures which are needed to have a philosophy in life. So now I think about certain things, and I think I start searching about certain topic. I can see it from 360 degrees, from every dimension. So that's why my brain is, I think now, is more of a philosophical thing rather than a one dimensional thing. So this is how it is. I am now believing more in philosophy of everything other than the simple non-dimension.
Okay, and you love to learn, don't you? We've spoken quite a few times about the fact that you're a bookworm. Your perfect day is to spend a day in the library surrounded by books with a coffee. That's the perfect day for you, isn't it?
Yes. It's my relation with books is also a very interesting journey. When I was born, it is a blessing in Pakistan that my parents were both well educated. I always see something to read, some material, whether it's a newspaper or a book or literature or fiction or scientific book in my hands of my parents. I was in the start. I was not very interested in books. Then I somehow came across few people who had books in their lives, and then eventually, when I was exploring streets of Pakistan, there was a certain point then I needed to be a book smart as well. So I started reading, and then it's a full journey. And my love for books. Yes, it is
So,
like that.
sure. So how prolific a reader are you? Like in a typical month, how many books would you read?
Uh, I always have a book in my bag, in my on my side table, in my office, everywhere. I have one book with me always. It is. I think it has become now more of a companion than a mere book. I sometimes I feel nervous when I lose my book for some while, and people make fun of me now that he's going to be confused if there is a book, there is not a book around me anymore. So it is a kind of my relation to book is like that. There's always companionship with a book.
Oh, it's interesting. So you regard them as a friend rather than
Yes.
just a source of knowledge. It's a friend. You feel,
They
I guess,
don't
you
judge.
feel safe.
They don't judge as well,
No.
because I always, and there is a big journey of me, of self worth and self doubt. I faced uh, lots of self doubt in my life as well, because I selfishly, you can say selfishly, but I needed to save myself. I have a big journey in which I intentionally distant those people who were not very good for my self-worth.
Okay.
So at this, I think this is, the book is the replacement of those friends, and trust me, book is a better friend.
Oh, that's interesting. Okay, and you've been described. So, one of the things I want to talk about is the fact that in your culture, it's quite unusual to live and to think in the way that you do. And you've been called crazy but intelligent by people, haven't you?
Oh yes, it's very interesting. Now I laugh at my negative things and my mishaps as well, because this is how it works now in at this stage of my life. Uh, I have been through a lot, Steve, because in Pakistan, whether you are you are from a very very rich family, then you are successful. You are if you have you join a corporate culture, international corporate culture, then you are fine. You need to have some backup plans. I always faced the world around me with lots of challenges to save myself, to save my sanity, to save my and also the financial challenges which I was dealing with, because it was not easy for me, Steve, because there is no need of intelligent, creative, and innovative people like me in here in my environment, unfortunately. And when we have some idea, we don't know what to do with it. I have seen
Ah,
many
okay.
ideas of mine uh, getting stolen, uh, getting spoiled. I don't know where to go when I have an idea. It is just like, and I am, I sometimes it is like that that I have given someone my idea. Uh, uh, so that they can help me, and they use that idea and spoiled it, and somehow I felt that now I am going to be a person who is going to be just a little employer in the same idea. So there are lots of challenges for a person like me in this environment. Yes, but I am a survivor, and I am happy about it.
Okay, I'd like to ask you a little bit more about. You've used the phrase a few times about wanting to save yourself. So what is it you want to save yourself from?
From just from my teens, I was a little rebellious. I was kind of a kid who is always fighting. I was not a very friendly person. Everyone, even my neighborhood, wherever I used to live, everyone knows that there is some problem with this kid. So that was my defense mechanism, Steve. I needed to save myself. I needed to have backup plans, because I know that I need one day, I need to have a vent. I need to have an entry point where my brains are going to be acknowledged enough, so that I have my own life. I needed to save myself from the environment I was living. I needed to save my health, which was not going very good. I was a very fat kid. I needed to save myself from the hazards which I had in my life, as far as my health is concerned. I needed to save my brains, because it was a huge brain, working, always overthinking, always calculating. I need to control it myself as well. And my last struggle was the struggle to get rid of people who were not good for my self-worth. And somehow I needed to save myself from the people who were just making me doubt myself, my worth, my sanity, my intelligence, my creativity. So the last struggle was like that. Then I feel that I was all alone because of these struggles to save myself, but at the same time I needed to do it. I needed to
Okay.
save myself.
So how did you save you? I presume what you're saying is you so you live in an environment which encourages conformity, and so I guess you've rethought your world and yourself so that you can function in the way that is true to yourself. Is that right?
Yes, if yes, so true. If I see my life, there's always an imaginary world around me. There is always a wonderland around me, which I needed to save. I always saved that world. Wherever I used to go, I am a very social person. It's not like that I'm afraid of socializing. I am I was once I was just considered as a party starter. I had fun in my life, but there is always a world which I was saving around me. It was an imaginary world where magic can happen, and from there to my last struggle of saving myself from the people who were making me doubt myself, and my struggle to save my self-worth. This is how I saved. And then my degree, my dental degree, it is kind of saving myself in the environment where I need to have plan B, I need to have fallbacks, I need to have something which can make some money for me, because I needed to save my world, my imaginary world in which magic can happen. There is I always feel like I'm falling down a rabbit hole. So I needed to save that world. My all struggle was saving that world. So this is how it is. Yes.
Okay, and I think it's interesting because I think that's the very nature of unconventional thinking and what I call breakthrough thinkers is that you are different. You normally know that you're different from quite early on in life. You know, you perceive the world differently. You have different ideas, and you can be regarded as you were described, crazy. You know, because you're not conforming. You're not thinking the way that most people do. But as you know, it's because of that you're able to come up with unique, groundbreaking ideas for not just work but for life as well. So it's a common struggle. But I think from what you're saying, I think it's been even more of a struggle for you because of the culture, the environment in which you live. So you live in Lahore in Pakistan, don't you? Which we've spoken many times about conformity, how that's how it works, isn't it? You're expected to conform, aren't you? Whatever I mean, in many respects, that you're meant to follow a certain path, which is not determined by yourself. Is that right?
Yes, definitely. Yes, definitely. But there are where I was always a misfit, and now I like to be misfit in Pakistan.
Yeah.
Wherever I go, I have been through lots of phases of my life. I have been through lots of people around me who are totally different from me. Sometimes for my ideas, sometimes for my creativity, sometimes to earn some money, because at the end of the day we need to pay our bills. We need to I needed to face those people who were not, I knew that they were not understanding me, but just because I needed to survive. But at the same time, I didn't conform, and I think I accepted my solitude just to save myself. This is how I save myself, and I refused to conform. My solitude is really important for me from past 5 years. I am just loving my solitude, because this is how I am making my brain more and more polished, and working on my six senses, so that I can be more and more productive as far as my brain is concerned.
Okay, interesting. So you well, let's talk about your career for a second. We did describe it earlier on. So you've done lots of different things. I mean, my first question is that unusual in your country to have done so many different things? So you're an actor, you're a painter, you're a designer, but you trained as a dentist. You run a real estate company, and you're also the creative head of a handicrafts and furniture business. So that's a really varied set of career paths. So is that really unusual in your country for that to be the case?
Yes, very unusual. And Steve, it is very difficult for me to explore every aspect of my life, every dimension of my innovative personality, because There are, I think, 95% of people who meet me, they are always, why are you so out of focus? Your life is not under your control. Why are you you have dental degree? I always used to say that it's fine. I have a dentist. I am a trained dentist. I have my clinic. That's all. I think my personality is not going to be defined by my degree. It is only 20 to 25% of my whole life. It is not right. It is very unusual, Steve, in my environment, that I am experimenting so much. They think I am crazy, out of focus. I am not. I am not serious about life. That's why I always say that I am. I am proudly unsuccessful here. Because you remember 6 months back, I asked you, is it unusual there in England that people are doing so much? You said no. I said okay. It was such a relief for me that for the first time, and thanks to you a lot, that you told me for the first time in my life that it's perfectly fine if you are exploring your all dimensions of your life, because it is very unusual here. We just have one path inherited, or just because of our conformative environment, which is given to you, and then full stop. You can't do any such thing. You don't do anything. People think you are crazy, but I'm fine with it. At least I have explored every dimension of life, and now I can tell people that, see what I have done. If we explore our dimensions, because these days the biggest challenge for us is our brains are under a threat. Our intelligence is under threat. So I think I have made a point here that no, we are also very intelligent, and we are ready for the challenge, for the threat which is given to us on our intelligence.
I see. So you use the phrase there. You said you're regarded as being unserious because you've got so many different aspects to what you do. That's the word that's used, unserious.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yes, by my friends, by my family, my colleagues, because I was always experimenting, jumping to different things, learning, unlearning, making mistakes. I have been through. I have met so many people around me who were just not taking steps because they don't want to make a mistake. And it's not I don't blame them, because we live in such an environment where we don't have a margin of mistake. People are scared of making mistakes, but I was courageous enough. It took me a lot to do it, but I was ready to make mistakes, and I will make mistakes again in my life. I love my mistakes and my failures.
Yeah, exactly. And it's in your philosophy on life, isn't it? I mean, just on the subject of having such a varied career, I read a book from someone called J. Abraham, maybe about 30 years ago. And he was a consultant. He'd worked in many different fields, different industries. And obviously the thing he noticed is that people who work in a particular field, they all pretty much think in the same way. You know, so when it comes to marketing, for example, they do the same things. They might tweak the message slightly, but they use the same marketing channels. So his approach was to, if he was working with a client, for example, helping them with their marketing, he would bring in ideas from completely unconnected industries, and he would find that they would work. You know, they would work. Because we're kind of like one of the inhibitors of creativity is this boxed in thinking, isn't it? Everyone thinks the same way. So I'm interested in the fact that, so to what extent have you been able to, so for example, you're a painter and you're a designer, you're also a real estate developer, and you've also got a handicrafts business. So to what extent do you bring ideas across from one business into another and see how it works?
Always, Steve, because I don't believe in textbooks. I don't believe in textbook examples. I believe in theories. I believe in hypotheses. I believe in research. I believe in philosophy. I believe in critical analysis. I don't believe in textbooks. I want to think beyond textbooks which were given to us. I want to criticize, I want to question, I want to search for replies and responses and answers. I want to have everything which is against the textbook, as you have already mentioned the example that we have a very narrow path where we need to go, which we need to lead, which is, I think, not right. And right now, the need of this time is we don't have textbooks for our future. It is changing so much, so quickly that now the textbook is not working, that roadmap is not working. We need to have people, more and more people who are going to have new theories about life, about work, about innovations. We need to have more people who create hypotheses to work on, who need to create more different roadmaps on which our new generations are going to work on. I think the days are done when we have textbook examples on which we can work. There were precedents on different things. The research on which we were working is now redundant and irrelevant very quickly. So now the thing which I was always doing, that I was always jumping from one profession to other profession, from one line to other line. I was always trying to cross the lines. So in those struggles, yes, sometimes if you see my art on my Instagram, you will see some dentistry there, some furniture there. In my furniture, you can see my different cultures which I explore through internet. So I was always hopping around. I was not working in a one direction only. I was not working on a one way or on a textbook. And now I'm lucky enough to be in the period where textbooks are not working anymore. So I'm very happy.
Yeah. Okay. Interesting. So, one of the things, I mean, one thing just to mention as well. I mean, I was going to talk about this at the end, but we can talk about it now. So I'm launching a new business here in the UK in May, and what we're going to do is, because people are very habitual in their thinking. You know, there's an old saying that 95% of the thoughts we have today, we also had yesterday. And what the world needs more of is people like you, I believe, and people like myself, that we don't think in habitual ways. We are always on the lookout for new approaches and new ideas. So we're going to be working together on that new business in a couple of months. So that's one thing. I just want to mention that now. So I believe that, so that there's lots, we got a number of different ways of thinking. There's the logical, analytical approach to thinking, which is, I think it's fair to say, has been pretty prevalent in the world of work until very recently. And then you've got the more intuitive, creative approach to thinking. And I believe that we need both. That one is not enough. One approach is not enough. And the way I tend to approach things is I begin with the research. I begin with the analysis, and the what you could call the left brain thinking, and then I move on. So that's, for me, that they are the ingredients of creativity. But then sometimes a solution will emerge from that way of thinking, but more often than not, you need to then move on. And I know that's your philosophy as well. You believe in both. It's in your philosophy on life.
Yes. Yes.
So they both have their place.
Use the
Yeah.
Yes,
So logical.
you use very technical terms. Yes.
Yeah.
Now my process is that I just when I take interest in one topic or one scenario, I just start in. I call it info dumping. There is always I
Mm.
just start collecting lots of information, negative, positive, critical, against it, and then eventually now I feel that there is so much information in my brain that my processor working on a certain pattern, then the positive outcome starts happening, because after I love to have lots and lots of information, future planning from everyone, the people. So I dump so much information in my brain that eventually I wait for the point when there becomes taking a shape, or for me, or become a factory for me to give my positive outcomes on that topic. So this is how I work. You are just putting it in your words. I put it in this way, that I just after my info dumping phase, I start waiting for the point when I start it becomes helpful for me to have some certain conclusions.
Okay. So so we work in the same way. So eventually, I find that you get an aha moment. You get a hunch, something of whatever word you use, but something. It seems to come from outside of yourself, I find sometimes. And so my question is, that obviously happens for you.
Yes.
How do you know whether or not to trust that idea when it comes to you? What are the signs for you that this is something that can work?
When people start listening to me, and there are few people around me who just who have a very good businessman mind as far as Pakistan is concerned. So they start giving me attention about that topic. It means, okay, I have attained that stage in my brain, that now I am speaking sense. I am talking sense out of that topic. So this is how it works. And another, for my self assessment, it is like that, that I when I see the big people in the world talking about it just like me, so
Okay.
on the internet, so that's the point where I say, okay, now I am on the same length, this wavelength on that topic. So these are
Okay.
my identification criterion about now I am on the point, on that point, then I can produce this idea and it can be fruitful. But unluckily, there is no one which I can tell that this idea is now working.
Oh, interesting. I get a feeling as well. Do you get a feeling? It's like almost like, and
A
also it seems
jolt.
like, yeah. It's like a fit. I would call it
Oh, yes.
elation. And also it seems it kind of seems obvious with hindsight. You think, oh right, yeah, it's kind of obvious, and you think, well, why didn't I think of
Yes.
that before? You know, it's
Yes,
yeah,
from a design of a table to a painting to a big business or any idea, there is a point. I can't tell when it is going to happen, but there is a certain point when I say, okay, I don't know whether it's taking shower, whether it's driving, whether it's before sleeping, or anytime in the night, or in a day, eating out or anywhere, there is a point where there is a little jolt, there is a little push inside my head, that okay, oh, that is the point where I just like a bulb who is just switch when we switch a bulb on, there is a point when it start illuminating. So that's the point where I say, okay, and we can't. Where sometimes it is delays of weeks and months. and just forget about. I used to forget about those ideas, and sometimes it is matter of seconds. It is there. Then that idea
Okay.
is just there. Yes, this is
Okay.
how it is for me.
Okay. So similar. I have to apologize, by the way. I switched my phone off, but I don't know if you can hear in the background. My smartwatch is. Can you hear it?
No, I cannot, but it's all right if you want to take that.
No, no, no. I just if you could hear it, then I can hear it, but maybe you can't. So let's carry on.
No, I
Actually, no,
cannot. I
I'm going
cannot.
to switch off. Actually, I'm going to switch off. Hang on.
Okay.
There we are. Okay, that's better. Right. Okay. So you mentioned solitude and how important that's been to you, and I also enjoy solitude. I do enjoy. I'm like you. I'm sociable, but I do enjoy time on my own and no distractions. And when you do that, the mind quietens down, and ideas emerge, I think, that would not otherwise get a chance to emerge when you take time out. So I take time out at home, but also I go for walks in nature and what have you, and I find that calming of the mind really does help. Is that your experience as well?
Yes, I am loving my solitude. Sometimes, for instance, these days it's national holiday here in Pakistan, and people are celebrating. And now I am at a certain point where I can choose whether I want to celebrate or meet people up or not. So I'm loving it. Sometimes people say, "Oh, feel sorry for me that there is no one around me." But at the same time, I say I am so happy about it, because these are the solitude moments where I have lots of ideas, lots of happening in my brain, and I'm loving it. There are the directionless thoughts which were coming inside my brain. Now they are making more sense. So I'm liking it. I'm loving it. In last 1 month, when we had a month where there's a little happening as far as profession is concerned in our country. We had a month of Ramadan here, and then now the national holidays of Eid. I am just loving my solitude, and I'm working on my brain, and there are lots of things which are making sense to me, because I am in a solitude mode right now. And from the past, I think this is post Corona era, when I realize that solitude is so good, it is so productive. We need to do it more. And I think after the lockdowns, I just refused to go out. I
Ah,
loved it so much. I was blessed enough that I had uh, savings, and I had a little option for me, that I can be inside my room, working on myself only and on my brain only. I just loved it, and I don't want to. I don't know whether you can take it positively or negatively, but I refuse to go out after the lockdown.
yeah. Yeah, no, I think you can discover yourself. You can discover aspects of who you are that you can't if you're constantly in the company of other people, in busy work and constant socializing and conversation. You can't ever, the brain. We're not meant to always have a busy brain. I liken it to the gears on a car. If you spend your whole life driving in third or fourth gear, it's not good for the engine. You need to slow down into first and second, and even into neutral and reverse. Because we're not
Yes.
designed to always be on the go, are we?
In my personal experience, I was I didn't have a very healthy lifestyle when I was a kid. I was in my teens. Then I realized that to uh, to make my brain more productive and more healthy, first I need to have to save my body as well. I started going to gym. I started exercising. I started eating healthy. I started have my healthy sleep cycles, which were totally destroyed by the outside environment. I opted for that. It was my own choice, but I just tried to save my body as well, so that my if the I always consider my body as the container of my brain, and I know that my brain is working very fast. It has a big size as far as the work is concerned and process is concerned. So I need a healthy and strong container for that brain, in fact. So socializing is not working anything good for that brain.
Sure. Okay. No, I mean, that's my experience as well. So you mentioned COVID, you mentioned lockdown, which was incredibly, that was 5 years ago. So that wasn't the start of your solitude, was it? You embarked on the life you have now before lockdown. Is that right?
It was before pre-corona. I knew that I needed solitude. I had my solitude moments of my alone time, and I knew that those were very productive. I always told you, I had always had a imaginary world around me. But after COVID, I found that I was right. I need to save that imaginary world. I need to save. I need to be present in that world more often. And that, I think, that was the moment. Corona was the moment. That period of 1 or 2 years of lockdown and crisis was the point where I said, okay, I was right. I was lucky to have my imaginary world. Now I want to be part of that world. So I opted for solitude, and I got rid of people who were not good for my self-worth.
Mm. So tell me a bit more about your imaginary world. What does that? What do you mean by that?
I think whatever design I make, whatever idea comes into my mind, it was always present in my imaginary world. This is how
Mm.
I feel, that it was always there in my world. I just took it out of that imaginary world. I found it in my imaginary world and just present it to other people and show them to others. This is how I feel about all my ideas, my designs, my innovations, my even my personal life. It was always present in my. I think that it was always present there in some. I think
Oh, okay.
my wonderland. It was always there. Whether it's a design of a table or a business idea or a or a or some interior, whether it's or my painting or my business idea I want to work on, it was always there in my imaginary world. I feel
That's
it
interesting.
has just
Okay.
come out of that.
So it's like almost you had a metaverse of your own before the metaverse came along.
Yes. A very strong metaverse. I think when I was a kid, I used to have some hidden corners. Always had hidden corners in my house. Wherever I lived, there were always some secret corner. Of course, those were not secret. Everyone knew them, that I'm going to be hidden there. But they were always like that. I had corners. I think I was trying to figure my wonderland in this way, and then I realized that yes, I have a wonderland around me. I have an imaginary world around me, and everything which come out come inside my brain, whether it's an idea or a furniture or anything, or a painting or a business idea, it was already present there.
That's really interesting. Yeah, I've not heard anyone describe describe pulling ideas out of their own imaginary world before. That's interesting. Okay. I think actually before I want to talk about your future plans in a second. I just want to go back to this whole challenge that you face again in the environment in which you live, because in one of the conversations we had previously, you talked about the fact we were talking about smart work and smart thinking, and you said that in your country it really doesn't have a place when compared to conforming and pleasing rich people is the other thing that you said. So can you say a bit more about that? The fact that you don't feel as if there's a receptive environment for smart thinking and smart work.
No, trust me, no. And I'm a very flexible person, Steve. It is not like that I am stubborn. I am very hardworking person as well. I have, but I now at this stage I don't want to work hard as just like a robot or a machine. I am not here to please others, or I'm not here to just fulfill the commands given to me. Or sometimes, if we live in an environment where we have very powerful people. In fact, the people who are more powerful than governments and their institutes. So at that, of course, they are human beings, whether they are very good or not. But at one point, so much power in one hand is dangerous. This is what I feel like, that I need to save myself from those hands as well. Whether they are very good, but so much power in one hand is not good. And sometimes they don't understand uh, that it's all right if we are not working according to their commands. It is also useful, but people don't understand the smart work. They are not ready to pay for it. They are not ready to appreciate or acknowledge it, because they don't know. Steve, we are living in a very conformative environment. I can't put all the blame on one person or one place or one structure. We have a very narrow way on which we can work on if we want to be successful. So this is how it is. So now I think I'm searching for my tribe who understands my smart work as well, and appreciate it and acknowledge it.
Which leads us on to your future plans. So
Yes,
there's a couple of things that you're looking to do. The first one is a YouTube channel, and you describe it as your last attempt to prove yourself in Pakistan. Do you want to talk a little bit more about that?
yes. Now at this point of my life, if I'm going to have some conformative way, or choose something which is conformative, at least it, of course, everyone needs a tribe around him or her. Everyone needs people who appreciate them. Now I need acknowledgement, appreciation. I need people who understand me. And thanks to you, for the first time in my life, there is someone who really understands from what perspective I'm coming from. It was a big relief for me. Okay, there are people around in this world who understand me. So it's again to save myself. I am making a point that if I am going to leave this environment behind, there is a big logic around it. There is a big calculation around it. There is a big plan around it. I am not doing it just because I am getting better opportunities and leaving everyone behind. I am making sure that I am intelligent. I deserve more. I deserve more success. I deserve more money. I deserve more acknowledgement.
Mm.
So I am making a point that, okay, now you know that I am an intelligent person, a smart worker, an innovative person, and a hard worker. So I am now getting good chances. I am searching for it, and as soon as I get a new tribe who welcomes me, I am going to join that tribe.
Okay, that's very interesting. And so the second aspect of your future plans is you want to position yourself in the market as a brain for sale, whereby you are paid for your different ways of thinking and your unique perspectives. And one way that you think this could work is as what we would call in the UK a TV pundit. Is that right?
Yes, of course, Steve. I always have backup plans in my mind. So now, in an attempt, I want to make myself available in the market. That okay, fine. I am very intelligent. I am very creative. I know how to absorb information around me. And if I need money, I am available to you. Just tell me what to do. What is your agenda? I will work on your agenda. I can do it.
Yeah.
But of course, it is not going to be my honest attempt. It is not going to be, I'm not going to be honest with me, but I need to survive. I need to save myself. I need to pay my bills. I need to be appreciated. Okay, fine. I am available to you. You know that I am very intelligent. I use information really nicely. So tell me what to do.
Yeah.
Of course, it is not going to be very intelligent move. It is not going to be very honest move. It
Yeah.
is not going to be honest move. But I need to somehow. I have a backup plan like that. Okay, fine. I will work on my on your agenda. Just tell me the topic. Tell me the outcome which you want
Yeah.
from
Okay.
my brain. I will do it.
Yeah. Yeah. I think you'll find that your brain is valued certainly in the UK, and well, before we finish here today, I'll talk about how that's going to work. But so my final question is, again, something that you've spoken about quite a lot, and you describe it as the brain drain that's affecting Pakistan right now.
See, brain drain on lots of aspects. If we go according to the dictionary meaning, it is about skilled jobs. Skilled jobs are already in crisis. We know that. I think brain drain is the real brain drain. The real intellectuals, the reformers, the people who think, who process, who make theories, assumptions, who make new equations. That is the thing which was already lacking in our environment, and it is happening now very fastly. If
Mm.
someone is skillful, of course, they are going, they are crossing the borders to have better life for their next generations. But at the same time, I don't consider it according to the dictionary definition. I am more of a net. I am when I talk about brain, I talk about more anatomical point of view. That brain, the real processor, which is in a threat right now in Pakistan. If Yes, the people who have innovative brains, who have already I said I am repeating myself again, that who start new researches, who start new aspects which are going to open new challenges. The people who make theories, who make observations, who collect data, that is the main point which is going to I consider that the biggest brain drain happening right now from Pakistan.
Okay, interesting. Well, thank you very much. I want to say thank you for your time. And I just want to briefly mention the way in which we're going to work together, starting in May when I've got a new business that launches. So I wrote a book about 13 years ago I studied creative thinkers, and I discovered that they actually work to a process, and they may not be conscious of the process, but it's there. And it's a process that anyone can employ and use. I believe that we're all born creative, but what happens at school and what happens in the world of work can kill that creativity. Not forever, but it can certainly numb it and make it it's dormant, I believe. So what the business is going to be doing is working with businesses of all sizes from all industries and helping them to be innovative and creative. And we'll follow a process, and we're going to involve you in that process at various stages. So I believe that you're very good at shaking up thinking, getting people to think about the situation and their problems in different ways, and also very good at generating unique ideas too. So we'll be employing your services on a remote basis, working with our clients. So that's something that's going to come in the not too distant future. But you definitely are a person that, as I said at the very beginning, defies categorization. And in my mind, that is a compliment. That's really good. And we need more people like you in the world, because, as you said, we're going through very challenging times, and to come through it, we need new thoughts and new ideas and new perspectives. And you might not be valued in Pakistan to the extent that you deserve, but I think there's a big world out there, and certainly in the UK, we can use you.
Definitely. And thank you so much for giving me this honor. And thank you so much. I think if I will talk about to save myself in future, one name I will definitely mention is yours, because for the first time in life, I felt that I have been acknowledged by someone, because it will, I already had your previous book, and best of luck for that book. Your next book launch, and I already sent my paintings to you. So I hope my paintings are to be there on your book launch. And yes, definitely. And I am useful in many ways, and this is also kind of my interview to you. And from the past 1.5 years, I was just making sure that okay, fine. Now my search is going to be successful. That I am finally finding the people who understands me, my own tribe, my own group of people, my kind of people. So thank you so much for everything you are doing for me, and I hope I will be useful in any way.
You certainly will. So Breakthrough Thinking comes out in May, and the business launches in May as well. So yeah, we're going to shake up the world. We're starting in the UK, but
who knows? Yes, we will.
We may pick up clients in your own country as well. You never know. That would be great.
Yes, definitely. I have started. My brain is already on hunt for those interesting people who are going to be there to work on our innovative business ideas. Yes, definitely. This is the plan.
Okay, good. All right. Well, thank you very much. It was great to meet you, Obaid, and we'll talk again in the future. Thank you.
Yes, please. Thank you. Bye-bye.